it's really easy for me to talk about things that happen on the field or on the court. Like if a guy misses a shot at the end of a game, easy to talk about. Or if a guy drops a bunch of passes, very easy to talk about. Even Baker Mayfield playing video games, easy to criticize. But when it comes to a situation like Jameis Winston, I try to be more measured. I try to be very careful with my words. Careful, calculated even is probably a good word. Jameis Winston has been suspended for 3 games. And it's serious. It's a problem. And I think I should start this topic by saying this. I don't believe in Jameis Winston anymore. I don't trust Jameis Winston. I would not want Jameis Winston to be my quarterback. Here's why. And first, I guess I should set the tone, actually. Before I tell you why Jameis Winston got suspended, let me just say quarterbacks are held to a higher standard in the NFL. They're held to a higher standard than any position in sports. Quarterbacks are different. And regardless of the reason, your quarterback should never, ever be in trouble for conduct off the field. That's not what I want from my quarterback. Here's what happened with Jameis Winston. In Scottsdale, Arizona, in March 2016, right around my birthday, a female Uber driver accused Jameis Winston of groping her. And the NFL has now come down. They have, because of this and because of what happened in the situation, the NFL has suspended Jameis Winston for 3 games. And the language that the NFL used is very striking to me. It's very clear, because usually what you do is you hear things like, Jameis Winston allegedly did this, or Jameis Winston, it's been reported that he did this. That is not the way the NFL spoke. The NFL is very clear about what happened. Let me read you word for word. The NFL said this. The NFL concluded that Winston violated the personal conduct policy by touching the Uber driver in an inappropriate and sexual manner without her consent, and that disciplinary action was necessary and appropriate. They did not say allegedly. They said Jameis Winston violated the personal conduct policy by touching the driver. Done. Done right there. I had written down a lot of speculation in my notes. Reportedly Jameis Winston didn't fight the suspension. And I thought maybe, he saw Ezekiel Elliott fight it and he said, I can't win. I'm just gonna give up. I'm gonna take a deal. No, it's pretty damning. Jameis Winston did it. Jameis Winston did not fight his suspension because he did it. I mean, I don't know how you draw any other conclusion. It's pretty damning. And this is not the first or even the second time Jameis Winston has had off-the-field issues. This isn't even the second, third, or fourth time Jameis Winston has had consequences for his actions and his conduct. The first thing I remember is Jameis Winston in college stole crab legs. He stole crab legs, and it was like $30 worth. And this was pretty easily explained to me. I could get past this one. If this was the only thing Jameis Winston had, fine, because people don't realize Division I athletes don't get as much money for food as people think. I have a couple friends, they play Division I football. They get like $750 a month. Rent is $600. That only leaves $150 a month for food. Guys that work out every day, trying to pack on protein, yada, yada. And it seems like Jameis Winston with the crab legs had a handshake deal with one employee and another employee ratted him out, a guy that wasn't in on it. But the crab legs is not where it ends. Jameis Winston has a bad list. Stealing crab legs. That's the first thing I remember. But then on November 25th, 2012, Jameis Winston got into a BB gun fight, which left about $4,000 worth of damage. And they almost sued Jameis Winston, but Jameis Winston said he'd pay for it. Move on. July 21st, 2013, Jameis Winston would not pay for a soda. And so we got a water cup, kept filling it with cola, basically. And we've all done that. I did that when I was 11. I've never done that as an adult. Jameis Winston did that as an adult. Not cool. The next thing was September 16, 2014. Jameis Winston yelled profanity on a table. If you remember, it was a meme going around. I'm not going to go there, but profanity. But here's the one I can't get past. The next thing is the thing that I cannot get past with Jameis Winston. While Jameis Winston attended Florida State University, he was accused of rape. This is now not the first time Jameis Winston has had a run-in with a woman. And that one I can't stand for. All of that, and now this, I'm out. I'm done. Jameis Winston already was not consistent on the field, and clearly I can't rely on Jameis Winston off the field either. Immaturity keeps rearing its head over and over again. Jameis Winston is immature. And I always say I hold my quarterbacks to a higher standard. But the truth of the matter is it doesn't matter what position Jameis Winston plays. If you have incidents with women, especially repeatedly, I can't. No. I was already uncomfortable with Jameis Winston. Now I'm done. Now I'm out. You just can't have that. I am out on Jameis Winston. If Jameis Winston was a stock, I sold all of it. Jameis Winston is not a role model. Jameis Winston is not reliable. I repeat, I do not believe in Jameis Winston. I do not trust Jameis Winston, and I would not want Jameis Winston to be my quarterback. I would not have it. You know, it's worth noting, we'll see where Jameis Winston is at in 3 years. I don't root against people. I hope that whatever Jameis Winston has going on, he can figure it out. I hope he can solve his issues off the field. I hope he changes as a person. But I can't root for him. I mean, it's so bad that the Buccaneers may cut Jameis Winston. They may not even bring him back. Oh, man. And I might add, the Buccaneers are in a bad place. Because if you look at the 2019 draft class, it's really not good. And the Buccaneers knew his issues when they brought him in. When the Buccaneers drafted Jameis Winston, they knew his issues. And they took a gamble, and it appears that the Buccaneers lost in the gamble. I don't know. It backfired on them. But I'm done with Jameis Winston. Let me reiterate one more time. I do not believe in Jameis Winston. I don't trust Jameis Winston, and I would not want Jameis Winston to be my quarterback. Nope. I'm out. I'm done. It's one thing to criticize a guy for playing Baker Mayfield. I can criticize him for playing video games. Or if you have a bad completion percentage, that's another thing. When you have off the field conduct issues as a quarterback, especially relating to women, nope. And not only is this a one-time thing, repeatedly over and over and over again, I do not want Jameis Winston as my quarterback. I'm out. I'm done. I sold all my stock, and yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm done with Jameis Winston. Thank you for watching this video. Remember, if you like it, you can subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and on YouTube. You can find the full entire hour-long podcast on YouTube. And if you really like this podcast, help me grow Strong Opinion Sports by telling your friends about the show on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever it is. Help me grow Strong Opinion Sports by telling your friends about this show. Bye.